This video is part of the series on how to set up an event for the BCG Event Manager. After you have added your new event and set up or added any hotels, rooms, and room capacities that you require, the next step is to visit the grid to arrange your rooms and publish the meeting times for the event. To do that, click on the Grid tab. So you can see in my grid that I have a set of rooms on the left-hand side, and I have a set of days going across, starting with Monday, the first day of the event. And as I scroll across, there's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so forth. There is a separate video on how to read all the details of the grid screen, but in brief, you can see WES, the first three letters of the hotel name are used. In this case, it's the Westin Longhorn, followed by the name of the room itself, the Oak Room, Maple Room, and so forth. And you can see that when I hover the room name, a hint comes up that gives me the details. For example, this room, the Oak Room, is in the Westin Lone Star. It has, by default each day, the room set up Hollow Square, which has a capacity of 16, and for food and beverage, it's associated with Meal Area 1. And this room is used during auto-scheduling. You can choose to suppress that, and that will be discussed more in the video that talks about how to use the grid effectively. So you can see there's the HS for Hollow Square, there's the 16 for the capacity for Hollow Square. The only thing you need to pay attention to while setting up an event is you may want to arrange these rooms in a certain order. So for example, it may be that you want your lower capacity Maple Room and Linden Room to appear before the Oak Room. Just click and drag them, and you can see I moved the Maple Room up. Now I'm going to move the Linden Room up. And it might be that you want your meal area above the rooms it's associated with, or below the rooms it's associated with. In this case, I'm going to move my meal area up above the rooms that it's associated with. Now I have my rooms in the order that I prefer, and of course you can put them in any order that you prefer. Next, you want to make it clear what times of day are open for scheduling. The way to do this is to pick the first time of day that you want open and click it. So to be clear, these times of day start with 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and so forth, going from left to right. And the 00 means exactly 8 a.m. The 15 means 8:15 a.m., 8:30, 8:45, and so forth. So it could be that on Monday, my events are actually starting a little bit later. They don't start all the way at 8 a.m. So in order to publish that room, I'm going to click on the 10 a.m. and you can see that it turned green. And let's say that it goes all the way to 4 o'clock, which is normal. I'm going to shift click, that is, I'm going to hold down the shift button and then click on the last item of the 3 o'clock set. And it will ask me, do you want to mark all the time from the 5th of September at 10 a.m. to the 5th of September at 3:45 p.m. as published? And I'm going to say yes. That 3:45 p.m., by the way, just to be clear, it goes all the way to 3:59. And it will mark the entire set green. So click and then shift click. If there is an area that I need to make sure people do not make meetings in during that time, I can click a second time, and you can see that it turns gray. Again, I shift click, and it says, do you want to mark all of the time from 12 through 12:45 as closed? Remember that 12:45, again, is the 15-minute segment of the day. So it goes all the way through 12:59, and I will click Mark Closed. Now, if anyone attempts to schedule a meeting during that time, it will be marked as closed, and they will get a notification. And when people are requesting meetings, they will see that Monday's available time is 10 through noon and 1 through 4. Now I need to go on and do this for my other days. If Tuesday is just a regular day, I'm going to start at 8 a.m. and I'm going to shift click to end all the way at 4 o'clock. And I will do the same for Wednesday. And mark published, and so on and so forth. And again, I may have other blackout times. Let's say that on Tuesday, lunch is a little bit delayed, so I'm going to go from 12:30 all the way to the 1:15 segment, which will lead all the way up to 1:29, and I'm going to mark those as closed. That's the lunchtime for Tuesday, during which no meetings should be held. That concludes this video on how to arrange the rooms to your liking and how to set up open times. If you have not set up open times, it will appear as if there is no time available for meetings on the Request tab, and you will need to remember to come back and get this step of setting up the event done. The next video in this series is on how to check and adjust email templates.